breaking news about a mistrial in the indecent assault trial of Bill Cosby. This week, we learned more about the drama within the jury room and Cosby's plans for the future. Apparently, he says he's going to be holding town halls to educate people on how to avoid accusations of sexual assault. His publicist making the stunning announcement Thursday on Good Morning Alabama.
We'll talk to young people because this is bigger than Bill Cosby. You know, this issue can affect any young person, especially young athletes of today, and they need to know what they're facing when they're hanging out and partying, when they're doing certain things that they shouldn't be doing, and it also affects married men.
I want to bring in criminal defense attorney and legal analyst Joey Jackson. Joey, if you were Cosby's attorney, at what point would you say, listen, the prosecution says they are going to retry this case, going around and talking about how to avoid allegations or accusations, probably not a good idea.
Good morning, Lynn. The point that I would say that would be before information like this were even conveyed to any show. Look, in law, I think that there's a tension between public relations, and that is, of course, Cosby being a public figure and you wanting to spin and put the most favorable and innocent light out there, and what you legally should and should not be doing. And I could not imagine that his lawyer sanctioned or otherwise agrees with this. This is bad for a variety of reasons. You're tainting a jury pool potentially. When he shows up at any venue, I can see victims' rights advocates screaming and marching and protesting it, making it even worse for him. And then, of course, his statements. I mean, you're making statements that, prosecutors are writing down every word that you say. I just think it's a bad idea. And I think while it might have been a trial balloon, Lynn, I'm not sure that it sees the light of day.
Interesting. We also want to get to the big news. The juror who talked with CNN saying it was Andrea Constand's testimony. Here's more of what he said. I'll get your take on the other end.
Wearing a bare midriff, and she has incense with her and bath salts with her. No matter who gave her the bath salts, that's questionable.
Okay, so let me put into context what he's talking about. He's talking about when Andrea Constand arrived at Bill Cosby's home in 2004, when she alleges that he gave her those 3 pills that he says allegedly his friends. You almost sort of look into the mind of this juror that he was saying, listen, she was dressed like she deserved it.
It certainly seems that that's what he was saying, and I think that you put everything in context. Remember, in cases like this, it's not made or won or lost on issues of forensic analysis, hair fibers, samples. There's no DNA in the case. The question becomes credibility. Who do you believe? And I think what the juror was doing was putting in context. In the event there was no romantic involvement, which was Cosby's claim, hey, we were romantically involved before, right? You want to look at what's the nature of the circumstance, and therefore he's looking at how she's dressed. What is the incense for that you're bringing over? What are the bath salts for? And so I think in that context, he evaluated her story because it was based on credibility and said, you know what, I'm not buying it. And that's what I think that juror was speaking of when he made the statement.
And he also referred to basically some of the other comments that she had made, and that was her credibility that was a big issue. Joey Jackson, as always, we really appreciate your insight. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.